Okay, in this demonstration I'm going to go over just doing a pre-startup maintenance of the anodizing machine and putting in the parts into the anodizer and starting the runtime. Okay, so a couple of things that you want to inspect before starting. You can remove the lid. This bath is full of it has sulfuric acid in it. It's very diluted. I believe it has it has enough strength to eat away at your clothes over a few weeks. So it won't immediately burn your skin or anything like that. But if you do get it on you, make sure that you do rinse off that area for a period of time. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is the height of the bath. Now, the height of the bath should be about 2 to 3 inches from the edge. That's this height right here. Okay, and so that appears to be a good height for the bath. And then I'm looking at these slots. So these slots need to be cleaned up. This side, the side facing you, or closer to you, always seems to get a little bit more corroded than the slots further away. So what we need is some Scotch-Brite. So we'll go to the cabinet here and we'll get the Scotch-Brite. Now the machine is not on, so this is perfectly safe to handle and touch without getting an electric shock. So you can kind of see the before and the after. I'm exposing that that fresh copper to get a very good connection. Now this machine has been sitting for a while, so I imagine it may look worse right now than when you see it, but regardless, I just want to show you what it should look like. So you can start to see the nice orangey pink of the copper, and we're getting rid of all of the patina, the green oxide. So that looks fairly nice, and finally we'll just do this one over here as well. So we're actually only going to use one slot, but you never know which slot you're going to use or another student is going to use, so we'll just clean them all up. So just working it into the corners of the groove there. So that looks nice. I'm just going to give these ones across the bath a touch-up as well. Actually don't look too bad. And so, believe it or not, I've actually run the machine and accidentally put the bar that goes across these on this surface, and that copper surface actually has oxide on it too and does not create a nice electrical connection. So it's always good to clean it up. Okay, so we have checked the height of the bath. We've cleaned up the slots in the copper bars. And finally, it's time to drop the parts in. Okay, so there should be preloaded parts in this cabinet that have gone through the cleaning process already and an aluminum oxide removal process already. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to take the bar, we'll lift it up in the middle, just like that, and we're going to very gently drop it into the bath. Okay, and now what you're looking for is just to make sure that all of the parts are submerged. If the bath water is too low, then the parts will stick out of the bath and will not anodize in that location. Okay, so you'll get a partial anodized part. which is no good. So it appears that all parts are submerged. At this point, I'm just going to make sure that the machine is turned on, so it is plugged in already. And now I need to turn the machine on. So this just turns the machine on. It doesn't actually start the anodizing process. So I don't see any voltage and I don't see any amps yet. Okay, so we're just gonna make sure that this is always on. Our timer is set for 60 minutes and 30 minutes. So 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, and then this is the temperature indicator. Okay, so if the bath water gets too warm due to the electrical current passing through the bath, then the refrigerator coil turns on and the mixer starts mixing up the water. All right, so what we should see here when we turn this on is we'll see the voltage come up to between 14 and 15 volts, and we'll see some amps. So turn this on, and this red light goes on as well. So you need to see that red light. Okay, so it is in fact between 14 and 15 volts, which is nice. And I'm reading about, I guess that's about 8 amps. Okay. And if I, take this off, so I'm just going to take the parts off the connection. And you can see that the amps drop to almost nothing. So you want to make sure that the groove is clean, the bar is clean, especially in that contact area. And then finally checking to see if you have any amps, because if you don't see any amps, then you're not passing any current through the parts. And so another indicator is you'll see tiny bubbles coming up from the part as well. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. There's the bubbles coming on off of the part. And so you should see that on all parts. Seeing bubbles on that part. Seeing bubbles coming off of this part. And I'm seeing bubbles coming off of these parts as well. So this timer is actually going to go off automatically. The machine will turn off automatically. It won't make a sound or anything, but you will see this red light go off. And so in about an hour and a half, you may want to set a timer for yourself. Come check the machine and see if this light is turned off. And once that's turned off, then these parts are ready to be rinsed and then dyed the color that you wish. So that concludes this video on the anodizing machine.